In tonight's headlines, PLA conducts drills around Taiwan, stimulating a blockade of the island in response to live separatist acts. Feeding feral pigeons could prove very expensive after government set to raise the fine for doing so to $100,000. And the UK to hold national elections on July 4th.
PLA launched large-scale military drills today, encircling Taiwan for what it called a strong punishment to the separatist forces. The exercise comes just 3 days after William Lai took over the administration of the island from Tsai Ing-wen. Codenamed Joint Sword 2024A, a spokesman of the PLA Eastern Theater Command said the drills simulated a blockade of the island, focusing on the Taiwan Strait, the north, south, and east of Taiwan, as well as areas around the islands of Kinmen, Matsu, Wuqiu, and Dongying. The 2-day exercise involved all 3 arms of the PLA, the Army, the Navy, and Air Force, focusing on precision strikes, combat readiness, seizures, and sea and air patrols. The Coast Guard and artillery drills are also a part of the exercise. Xinhua News Agency said the war games are a strong deterrent for Taiwan independence forces and a stern warning against the interference and provocation by external forces. Taiwan deployed sea, air, and ground forces in response, saying the show of force was an irrational provocation which undermines regional peace and stability. Lai pledged to maintain the status quo in the Taiwan Strait after taking office and had urged Beijing to stop its intimidation of Taiwan. Foreign Ministry spokesman Wang Wenbin said, "Every time the separatist Taiwan independence forces make waves, China and the international community will step up efforts to defend the One China principle." Quentin Yan, Cable News.
Feral pigeon lovers who feed the birds will now face a $100,000 fine and imprisonment for 1 year. The new law takes effect August 1st, after an amendment to the Wild Animals Protection Bill. Feral pigeons are the new addition to the legislation, which bans people from feeding wild animals.
都好嘅，係咪先？唔使咁多人喺度餵，餵啲麵包啊嗰啲嘢。
It's a good decision since it could free up space. People often crowd around this area to feed pigeons with breadcrumbs, and they would be blocking the road, said this man.
哦，呢個好事嚟嘅喎，因為咧啲野鴿咧飛到周圍都係，你越餵越多。
It's definitely a good decision since the area would be more clean. A lot of elderlies who feed the birds out of compassion don't know this would cause public nuisance and serious environmental hygiene issues, another man said. Environment Chief Jie Qin-wen said the new penalty would better reflect the adverse impact and serious consequences of illegal feeding on wildlife, ecology, and the public.
Representatives of the civil servants unions have urged the administration to keep their salary increments in line with the findings of the pay trend survey. In a meeting with the Secretary for the Civil Service, Ingrid Yuan, union representatives said the calculated salary hike of up to 5.47% was reasonable given the exodus of civil servants in recent years. Li Kuai-in, representative of Hong Kong Chinese Civil Servants Association, said the data from the survey was an objective reflection of wage increase in the private sector and is a useful reference point. Lee warned that if the government tightens civil service pay due to fiscal deficits, it would reflect on their morale and hinder recruitment efforts. The government has already saved a lot of money as there are nearly 20,000 civil service vacancies yet to be filled, Lee said. Keeping salaries in line with current pay trends would motivate overworked civil servants, Lee added.
大家千祈唔好以為有一個錯覺，唔係話全部成個景搭出嚟嘅。
Tan Ki-tin, spokesman for the Federation of Hong Kong Filmmakers, expressed doubts on turning the film set of the recently released Twilight of the Warriors walled in into public exhibits. The Hong Kong movie, which received a standing ovation at this year's Cannes Film Festival, completed shooting 2 years ago and centers around the Kowloon walled city during the 1980s. His remarks came after the government expressed interest in turning the movie set into a tourist attraction.
拍戲始終會係一種就方便同埋就鏡頭感嘅，參觀同又係另外一件事嚟㗎嘛。參觀嘅我哋要考慮安全啊。
There are various concerns in shooting a movie on set and setting up an exhibit for the public, he said. A movie set focuses on creative aspects and convenience for crew members, but a public exhibition of the same set should be refined and most of all, designed to be safe.
會唔會又過咗嗰個風潮啊？
Tin also raised concerns on whether the film would have lost its popularity when the exhibition is ready for the public. The location where the exhibit can be placed is another factor Tin highlighted. Site of the original Kowloon walled city was turned into a park 29 years ago, he said. West Kowloon Cultural District was an option, but exposure to the elements would be a hindrance, Tin said. On the other hand, Lee Chiu-yu, district councillor from Kowloon City South, expressed support and says keeping the set near the original location of the Kowloon walled city would give visitors a more surreal experience. Nearby areas such as Kai Tak should also be considered. As the walled city park is undergoing redevelopment,
可以去思考咧，有冇啲空間咧，就係可以去將呢一啲電影嘅場景咧，都可以融入去嘅。
Authorities may consider freeing up a spot at the site for the exhibits, he said. The government could also take the opportunity to promote local culture, such as offering fishball making workshops on the site to further recreate the essence of the film, providing a more nostalgic experience of the Kowloon walled city. Janice Yu, Cable News.
British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak has set July 4th as the date to hold national elections in the United Kingdom, in a high-stakes move that could bring an end to his Conservative Party's 14 years in power. Sunak's decision was not surprising, as he made the announcement on the day when official figures showed inflation in the UK had fallen to its lowest level in nearly 3 years.
Now, we've shown the country that it is only this Conservative Party that can deliver the economic stability, the foundation of our national success. Wages have been rising faster than prices for 10 months now. The economy has turned a corner. Friends, our plan is working. With this hard-won economic stability comes a choice. Who do you trust to turn that foundation into a secure future for you, your family, and our country? Now, we all know that the only certainty with Labour is that they will run out of money and raise your taxes.
Leader of the opposition Labour Party, Keir Starmer said, the election was an opportunity to end the chaos and promised that his party would offer political and economic stability. Voters across the United Kingdom will elect all 650 members of the House of Commons for a new 5-year term.